Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Post-Match Pint, the only West Ham United post-match wallet show on the internet. As you can tell, we're at an O home today.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing it from here on home games from now on. Thank you very much to the Podium Bar.
Yeah, right next to the Orbit.
Right next to the
Right
Orbit.
in front of the stadium.
Yeah, come down, join us one day for a few drinks. Why not?
Oh yeah,
Why
no,
not?
happy
Closest
days.
bar to the ground.
Isn't it, mate? Closest bar to the ground. Best bar as well. No, we've obviously just come back from the Watford game. It's been ages since we've done a post-match pint because we've been
proper post-match pint,
proper
yeah.
post-match pint because we've been having refurbishments done at the clubhouse and now we've got a new home. It'll be back on your screens every week. But boys, there's been loads to talk about over the last couple of weeks and we haven't really had a chance to get together and do it. But we start today positively. Scott, go for the starting lineup.
Yeah, Adrian in goal, Zabra right, Creswell, Ogbonna and Collins centre free, Antonio left wing, Mario Cech and Noble in the middle with Anatovic and Chicharito up top.
Good to see an Anatovic back, wasn't it?
Well, considering we
Massive.
thought he'd be out a lot longer, it's brilliant.
The new silver fox in the box.
Yeah. Oh, mate, it was a lift after that defeat against Brighton. It was a lift we needed. We're having him back. Even Antonio coming back was a big lift for the side.
With the importance of the games we've got coming up as well, Liverpool away next, it's a massive game. And today to get 3 points was massive.
Oh,
and,
yeah, huge.
Yeah, and once again, Hernandez starting. He starts, he scores.
Exactly. That's the thing is, I think
Which
now,
is the opposite from what they said about him at the beginning.
Well,
wasn't it?
yeah, that's it. But the thing is now as well, I think the way we're playing suits him a little. You know, we're not looking long all the time as we were before. Now we're trying to get the ball on the deck, trying to play a bit of football.
Because we've got the
releasing
players,
players,
mate. The players are coming back. Well, I mean,
Me and
the
him
last
was-
couple
me and-
of weeks, we've had 14 injuries.
Me and Nicky was saying, like, sitting there during the game, that our starting 11 fully fit is a decent team. It's a really good team. It's just, if we get injuries, like if Hernandez went down today, come on.
That's the problem, isn't it? Our strongest 11 is a top 10 side. You know, but that is it. It's the depth of the squad which is the problem. You know, like you said, Hernandez goes off. Who we got? You know, we've got Hugo, who's unproven at this level. We lose Anatovic. Who we got to take his place? No one. You know.
Well, it proved it when Anatovic and Lanzini was out for a few
The
weeks.
centre of midfield is the one that I'm worried about.
I think that João Mario has strengthened it up a bit. I think he's brought the best out of Cech, especially in the last couple of games. He was unbelievable today.
I thought it was superb.
Unbelievable. And we've obviously given him a bit of stick, or especially myself. But today it's the best I've seen him play for a long time. Good to have Antonio back as well.
Yeah, exactly. It was a bit worrying when you first thought Antonio left wing back, but you can sort of see why Moyes has put him in there at that position.
I don't think he's going to cross Moisey again. I think he plays where he's told.
That's it, and the thing is, that's what we wanted to see. We didn't see that under Bilic. When a player steps out of line, you didn't see Bilic putting his foot down saying, look, no, you're doing it my way, or you ain't playing.
Yeah, and that's why players walked all over him.
Yeah, and he's took the same starts from Anatovic. We've got Anatovic now playing as a Payet replacement.
How good was he today, though, Anatovic?
It's superb.
That
Superb.
in the first half when he done that little trickery in the box and he took you around about 3 or 4 players, reminded me of Di Canio.
Yeah.
It reminded me so much of Paolo Di Canio, and
He's got real quality about him.
The ball just sticks to his feet.
It's not that. It's his
Weaves
movement.
in and
He's
out.
got that little. He's that first yard or so of pace, and all that, and then like he's got the determination as well. As soon as someone gets that ball off of him, he's on them.
Yeah.
He doesn't give them a second to think about it. You know what I mean? They don't take it off of him and then he's lightly jogging. He's there. He's on them. Don't give him time to think. The way it was being closed down today, and it's all because of his running. I'll tell you what. From the day he signed, mate, to about the 5th or 6th game, I said he was our worst signing that we've ever made. Right? In the last 6 or 7 games that he's played, he's got to be one of the best I remember since. Well, obviously you got Payet, he's the obvious one, but who apart from that, I don't remember another signing as good as him.
Since Moisey's come in, Anatovic has just been a totally different player. He's been given that free role, but he's been told that he can have the licence to stay forward, but he's not that sort of player. He wants to work back and work for the team.
But that's the thing, when you look at him under Bilic when he was there, he was strolling about, he weren't getting back. And it's just new manager, new dimension. Like I said, he's been given that freedom to get forward, to express himself. And now he's putting the work rate in getting back. You know, in previous games when he's been on it, he's been tracing back, winning the balls in like our box. You know, stuff he wasn't
No,
doing.
he's a player. He can be a moody player.
Yeah.
He can be moody. You saw that in the first 5 or 6 games. You used to see that for Stoke. But I think what he's come to realise now, if I just put the effort in, they're behind me. You know, because he was getting caned on the terraces the first 5, and rightly so as well. Like you know, the first game away from, or first or second game, he goes and smashes someone with an elbow, gets himself sent off, and then after that, you know, it wasn't great. And then as soon as he got that first goal, Ryan, I'll be honest, he's always said this: as soon as he gets that goal, his confidence will go sky high.
Yep. That's like any player, though, isn't it? It's like Hernandez. You know, look at him now. What's that? Is that 3-3 for him now? He scored last week at Brighton. You know, Bournemouth.
Yeah, he's 3-3.
Yeah, so
three.
he's. I know we had Palace in between. Didn't we?
So 3 and 4.
Yeah, but him starting. You know, he's a goal scorer. We know he's a goal scorer. We know he ain't going to shoot from outside the
Who
box.
scored the goal against Palace?
Noble penalty, wasn't it?
Of course it was, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, it's confident players. Players need confidence, and if we can keep everyone fully fit now, you chuck Lanzini in that team as well. Because, like I said, that João Mario, he is. The way he's come in and settled, it's like he's been playing Premier League football for a long time.
Yeah, he's just stepped in, come in, and you know, for me, Lanzini coming back in, the football that we're playing at the minute, to have Lanzini with Mario, Arnautovic, Chicharito, and Antonio, because Antonio was linking up with him as well. The only thing missing for me in that is that quality holding midfielder.
He's a Jack Wilshere.
Do you know what I mean? That type of player to sit there and let them 5 be the attacking threat that they are.
5 minutes we've been here and he's broke yet. He's cut himself.
But do you know what I mean? If we can now get that quality holding midfielder, and then have either Noble or Czech playing alongside that, you know what I mean? You've got the perfect package.
And they should have gone out and got. We'll get to this later.
But I'm just saying that for me, that's the key now.
Because I thought that first half we played some really good football, really, really. The second half, Watford for the first 20-25 minutes.
They dominated.
That.
Yeah,
but
first
that comes down to nerves, doesn't it? You know, you don't want to chuck away that 1-0 lead, but.
The thing I'm excited about, I'm excited to see more of the now. I know Lanzini slots in when he comes back, but I'm excited more to see the Hernandez and Arnautovic partnership, because what Arnautovic does is he puts so much pressure on people and he's got such tight ball control. He draws people towards him, and you've got a goal scorer like Hernandez.
Yeah.
It
just draws people away from him, and you know, any ball drops in that box, he's finishing.
We had a great chance first half, didn't he? And anywhere, if he'd have hit higher in the corners and out of it, he would have scored that. But he hit straight at the goalkeeper.
Stretching and you know.
Before that, we had a goal ruled out offside. It didn't look offside to me.
Wasn't offside.
It was a great header by Hernandez.
I'll watch what you say, because you ain't seen the replay yet.
I'm going what I've been. People have texted me during the game saying it weren't offside, and they were watching it on the telly. So that's what I'm going by.
Yeah. Okay.
It looked tight, didn't it? We didn't think it was offside.
To be honest,
and we were sitting sort of in line.
In terms of there ain't much to talk about. Like I don't think I can't remember a clear-cut Watford chance.
They had that free kick. What was the one that sort of fizzed at Adrian's feet?
But that was in the first half.
Second half, they had that free kick. They needed.
They didn't offer much in the first. I thought we completely dominated.
After watching them on Monday night against Chelsea, I really thought we was going to be in for a lot tougher game today. I thought, do you know what? If the way they played, if we walked out of a point today, you got to be.
Yeah, I was
especially the way we've been playing.
Same thing, but you know, we showed up. Let's be honest.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something now. When I see that starting lineup, I thought we're going to win today.
Yeah.
Good goal by Hernandez.
Yep.
Good header. But I'll tell you what, let's go straight to the second goal, because I don't think that goal will get enough credit. Because
go back to the first goal, you got to give Antonio credit for the ball in with his weaker foot.
Antonio was brilliant today. I thought.
He got down that line, weaker foot, great cross, straight on Hernandez.
I thought he got the tactics spot on.
Yeah.
Antonio there because of the pace.
He worked hard today, Antonio.
He did work hard. Yeah, he did
really
work hard. I think he owes the manager a couple after like the past couple of weeks.
He owes the fans a lot.
He owes the fans a few after that Palace thing. Really, I don't think he's been the same. But I want to go to the second goal, because I don't think this goal will get enough credit. The feet, when that's fizzed across to him,
the touch
of it. Yeah, it's so easy for that to bounce off a shin, to bounce off a toe. the touch and the finish was superb, and it's all about the touch.
And Creswell done well as well, because obviously he fizzed the ball in, it went out, and he was straight back. He didn't give up, and then he's knocked it back in. It took a couple of deflections, and like you said, it's come straight to his feet at a pace, and the way he's controlled it, just moved his feet and had time to slide.
Even with a shot, you know, how many times you see players get in that situation, they snatch at the shot and it flies wide, you know, or it goes over, even from that short distance. But like you said, the control was superb and the finish was just...
And he deserved that goal. He deserved it because he worked hard today. And like I said, what I love about him is when he tracks players down, he's turning around. First thing he does, he's screaming at me midfield, like, where are you? Why aren't you helping me?
Yeah.
And that's good. And you can see, like, even with Noble today, I thought he had a really good game. And I love him because when someone does a tackle, he's straight over to him, patting him on the back. You know?
Exactly. And someone, I think one of the fan cams, someone said, Noble just didn't seem to do a lot, but everything he did right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
There was a couple of times where he got knocked off the ball, but look, I thought Zabaleta today, I thought had a good game. I thought Ginge was, listen,
he was immense. Steenie was in his pocket
you can't,
all day long.
If he was 10 years younger, he'd be playing for a top 4 club.
Yeah, exactly.
He's that old-fashioned centre back, you know, that you love, like what Chelsea had with John Terry, you know, like Arsenal had with Adams and that down the years.
Look, we had Ginge when he was young. We had Ginge when he was 22.
We let him go and kept Matty up.
Well, yeah. Well, that was, you know, that's been and gone now. We had him when he was 22, you know, and I always thought, apart from the odd mistake here and there, I always thought he was massively underrated.
Yeah.
I always thought he was destined to play for a top club, and he went to Aston fucking Villa.
Yeah, but back then, mate, Aston Villa were a top 6
They was an
club,
up-and-coming club, yeah, they were.
It was a top 6 club, so it was, and that was under Zola when we sold him, you know, so, but it was good that he come back, but he deserves to see out his career. He loves the club, he loves the fans, we love him.
It means so much to him.
He's an old school centre back, and today...
Why wouldn't you give him a 2-year contract, or a year, or even a year's extension, when you've just signed a 36-year-old left back? And the geezer gives his heart and soul for
Mate,
the
I
club.
think if you offered him a year's contract with no wages, he'd take it. He ain't here for...
If you're that worried about it, offer him a rolling contract. So 1 season renewal, review at the end of the season.
I'd give him a year's contract, and I'd get him on a coaching course, and I'd get him as a defensive coach.
The thing is, when we were at Wigan, you know, you saw at half time, he come out with the youngsters. Now, so many times you see the senior players have a little warm up together, and the youngsters are on their own. He actually went over to the youngsters and had a little game of keep you up with the youngsters.
Yeah,
you know, it's good to see. You don't see that with a lot of modern day footballers. They don't want to know. They don't want to know the youngsters coming through. But he actually went over to the 3 young lads and he's kicking the ball about with them, and it's good to see. And like you said, that is the signs of a good coach.
But yeah, second half, mate, it weren't great, was it?
It was brilliant. I don't
first
think it was
25
brilliant.
minutes, they was all over.
Yeah.
We couldn't get out of our box.
We defended solid.
Yeah, but that's where the defenders earn their wages.
I thought Bonner was good as well.
Yeah, I ain't even mentioned him.
I thought Creswell was really good. So we'd done a ratings outside with Ben, and he said Creswell was the worst of the 3. I can't pick a worst of the 3. Collins stood out for me, but the other 2 were just as good.
I think because Collins stood out so much, it overshadowed the other 2 alongside him. You know,
look, Collins had a little slip and it nearly let him in, but you know,
Bonner was there to cover.
Yeah,
which is what you want as a partnership.
I don't know whether I can see Font or Reed get back in, to be honest, at the moment.
But they're good backups to have, and they're both coming back now, fully fit.
Well, Font's been on the bench.
Yeah, and this is, and you've also got young Declan Rice there to step in now. It's good that if we can get people fully fit, then we've got a good squad. Yeah. We've always said that. Exactly. It's just with us, and it's not only this season. You know, I like it with injuries down the years. It's always been that way.
See, I think we've got plenty of cover in defence, plenty of cover. The problem ain't the problem's the thinness of other areas. Yeah,
midfield, the centre mid.
I remember when I obviously put together a video a couple of days ago for the Real West Ham fan group, but I was looking through clips there, and I remember in 2010, when he took over, he's going, we're so unbalanced, we've got so many midfielders, and I was like, so you know them problems exist. Yeah, you've seen that. You've come into a club when them problems existed. Why do you let We'll talk about them in a minute because we've got a lot to talk about.
The thing is,
why do you let the same things happen?
Yeah, and you got to look. You got to look at.
Don't
the
make
end
no
of the
sense,
game.
does it?
I know we're seeing the game out, right? And we were 1-0 up, and you want to show it up the back. But we ended the game with
6 defenders, 7 defenders.
8. We had 6. Byron come on, that made it 6. Rice come on, made it 7. 7 defenders. You know.
Yeah, we're that worried about chucking it away, Scott. In the last 10 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. You haven't got a midfielder for a midfielder, winger for a winger.
The problem is, in the past couple of weeks, we've been starting with that.
Yeah.
Well, you look at Palace, we started with 6 on the pitch. Brighton again, we started with 6 defenders on the pitch, and that showed the weakness in our squad that we've got. You know, like I said, we've lost Obiang now for the season. It looks like for the season. There's no ball. There's Czech. There's no one else.
Is that João Mario?
Yeah, but he's more of a sort
You
of
also got
that sort of thing to solidify in midfield.
Yeah,
players,
no, that's what I'm saying. We need to be careful now. You know, I'm not going to say like don't go into challenges but if we pick up injuries in key areas, I mean, we've obviously signed Patrice Evra this week to cover, obviously, Masuaku being out until the 18th of March. I think he's back in the Man United game, isn't he?
Yeah. But it's a month.
Yeah.
And they're signing left back, and it's a month. We've got midfielders that are out for the season.
Yeah, but there are still other free transfers that we're looking at. I mean,
it's a month. It's
not
a
good
month,
enough.
but
I'm sorry.
I know
it's not good enough.
I know it's not good enough, mate. But it's
you
all we
can
can do
see why
now.
we've signed Evra.
Yeah.
If we lose Creswell and Antonio, we've got no left side.
I think Evra has also come in to sort of like as a personality around the change room. You know, Moisey knows him from United, obviously, but we're looking at Alex Song, Nasri. For me, they're 30 years old. They're good players. Bring them in if we can. Bring them in for the rest of the season.
I'd bring Alex Song back.
Yeah, Nasri as well.
He did when we got rid of him. He did absolutely no wrong that season. He was on one of them stupid contracts, weren't he?
No.
He was on one of them silly contracts where.
I know, mate. Yeah, I know.
The falling out with Bilic was because he had a laugh at Sacco because Sacco threw a strop at Arsenal.
Yeah.
You know, let's
I remember that. He started laughing at Sacco.
You've only got to go back to look at the Man City game when we beat Man City that season.
Yeah.
How instrumental he was.
I know.
And that's the quality he's got.
His key is he can hold and sit, but he can find that pass.
Exactly.
I haven't watched him personally for last season, or I don't know where he's been. I know he's been abroad, but I'm sure he ain't lost that. You know, so he would be perfect. You know, Evra didn't even come on today. These players that are there, they're experienced players for backup when we need them.
And the thing is, as well, with Evra coming in, you look at it, he's a winner, he's a good squad player. He's not going to be, like, when we signed Arbeloa, we thought the same sort of thing. You know, one thing's he's got that, and his attitude was completely wrong. You see Evra, his attitude seems, you know, he wants to play. He's got that professional attitude that you used to see players like Ian Wright and Di Canio have.
I think Evra will do well here.
Yeah, I think so.
I think he'll do well here.
Yeah.
You know, I think he'll play a few games before the end of the season, and I think he'll do really well. And in fact, I think they'll give him a year's extension on his contract, right, when his contract comes to an end in 6 months' time. But that ain't the point.
No.
This ain't the point.
I know.
That has been made, right, after, like, and we haven't spoke since the transfer window, so we better speak about this. That signing has been made after. Every season I said we've had the worst transfer window ever, and every 6 months it trumps it. Especially since we come here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And
the last decent transfer window we had was the last at the Boleyn.
Look, go back, right, and this is why. And if anyone ever wants to know why people like, and you know what the thing is, you know, I know a lot of people are now sort of coming around to our way of thinking. I see this coming from miles off, and I'm not going to sit there and say, "Oh, I told you so, I told you so," because it's not funny, and it's not something like trivial. You know, it's a serious matter. And I saw this coming from a mile off. I put together that video. If you ever want to understand why we're annoyed, go and watch this video that I put together on our Twitter, on the Real West Ham Fans Action Group. I put together this video, and I'll be honest with you, it didn't take me as long as I thought it would to find the clips of them. But watching it through, and I watched, like, those are just small clips from extensive videos. I watched that. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking what they promised, and like, I don't care what anybody says, like, they're pulling our pants down, and they have been since they got here. They've pulled the wool over our eyes to get us away from our home, and as soon as we've got it, like a government, like an election. We'll do this, we'll do that.
They fed us a load of bullshit, but we started believing it. Like when we didn't want to leave the bowling, but when you went into that reservation, whatever it's called, centre at the Westfield to get your season ticket, the way they showed you it, you thought, that's not that bad.
If they delivered on everything they promised,
I don't even think they'd have to deliver.
This would be something special.
Scott, if they would have delivered 5 out of 10,
they've delivered 0.
No,
Nothing.
The only thing they've kept their promise was moving us from now
to here.
Yeah. That's the only thing they've kept.
Which then
they've not turned us into a world.
I mean,
just before the transfer window opened, David Sullivan turned around and said, "We're not going to sign journeymen. We're not going to sign players over the 32." And then, look, no disrespect to Patrice Evra, but
37.
he's 37, without a club for kicking someone in the head. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. That is the biggest problem about them.
But that signing was made at the time. I don't think it made much sense. But that signing was made on the strength of shit.
Yeah, we obviously you've also had the racism thing here, and it's just been a circus. And that racism thing come the day after the transfer window shut.
No, it was the day of. It was the day of.
Yeah,
it was happening. It was going as it was shutting.
Yeah, it was the day after.
It wasn't. It was. It come out before it shut. It didn't, mate. I swear on my life. I was sitting there watching the transfer deadline day, and that come up as an article. The day of the transfer window. I promise you, it was as it was shutting.
Well,
it came out
around that, whether it come out that day or the day
if you
after,
watch Amos Chat's deadline day video, they start talking about it at the end because I remember looking at it.
And the thing is, that all come out and it sort of like took the attention away from the transfer window because it was all this. Tony Henry got sacked. He whatever he said about the African players, and then the first signing they make is a black player. He's from Senegal, isn't he? So it's from Africa, and it's like they're trying to say we're not involved in that. You know what I mean? So
you look at it as a political signing. You know, it's to show.
Listen,
wasn't.
To be fair, you say that. I mean, David Moyes obviously worked with him, so he knows him. So he probably thought
he's probably a player that he wanted.
Yeah, he's a free transfer. Bring him in to the end of the season.
But these things don't spin how they want them to spin.
No,
this is not 25 years ago at Birmingham. This is 2018 at West Ham. They can't get away with the same shit that they got away with there because the fucking social media and savvy people, and I don't want to call myself savvy, but savvy people like us, like West Ham fans, they know what's going on. They can see it from a mile off. And it takes some people a bit longer because I understand why some people have taken a bit longer to come to this conclusion. And, you know, I think I've seen the die-hard balled-in people now saying, look, I'm going to give them one more. And if they don't do nothing the next one, then, you know...
The thing is, that transfer window was the opportunity for them to deliver and say, make a statement, this is what we're about. Well,
when we moved here,
where's the 30 million that they promised
Exactly.
Where's that?
But the thing that makes me laugh...
We made £6 million this year in transfers. We made £6 million.
Exactly. But not only that, he come out and said, we bid 25 million for Joe Allen on transfer deadline day. Wait a minute, then Donker was your biggest target and you're only offered 4.4 million.
You say that, right? That they offered 25 million for Joe Allen, but Stoke refused to sell to a relegation rival, and he said, I can see their point, but then we sold Ayew to Swansea. Yeah.
Look at Leicester. Leicester refused to do business with us because Karen Brady slagged off their chairman or their board.
Yeah, in the sun.
That's ridiculous, though.
No, but the thing is,
right, Newcastle threw a private jet down to pick the guy up and fly him back. Well, if you want to play, that's the thing.
We probably sent a mini cab.
Exactly.
The thing is, I don't mean to be, but like, no matter what they're doing now, like, if they're the case, when you're like, I've sat in front in a room with her as far away as I am from you now. She goes, I ain't got nothing to do with transfers. I ain't got nothing to do with this. I ain't got nothing to do with that, right? But if she's actively costing us a transfer target, by the shit that, I mean, she should have been in the office in the morning, and I can't say she wasn't because if that's the truth, that she's cost us a transfer, she should have been in the office in the morning being suspended as well because her outside interests have now affected a West Ham transfer, and they should have been going, well, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. And it's not she's just full of crap. Let's be honest. The lies that she keeps spilling, the Thomas Cook thing.
Like Nicky said, we've sat in front of her. I mean, the last meeting we went to was, I think that summed it up, like what a liar they are, and they ain't got a clue, because she turned around and said to us, like, what can we do to get the fans back on side and on board? And we just said, be honest. Come out, be honest.
Yep.
And
I said, dip your hands in your pockets and spend the money.
I said, the three of you sit in front of season ticket holders, club members, have a fans forum, and do that. What do? He releases a video sitting at home like some Christmas speech, like,
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like what he says, like he turned around and said today that he wants to work with West Ham fans. No. He don't want to work with the likes of us and the ones that are doing. He wants to work with the ones that have got their noses up their arse.
Clarence, you.
Yeah. No. That is true.
I meant who?
Who? That's what they want. They want people like that are going to sit there and take the shit.
I offered him a chance. Right? I offered him the chance. Come on here. He wants to do that video with them, yeah? He ain't fooling anyone doing it with them. Come and sit with me, and I'll reiterate this to this day, and I'll cut this out of this video, and I'll put it up separately. Come and sit down with me, and let me ask the questions what everybody wants to know.
Can I come?
You can come, and he can come.
Well done, Dan.
I swear, I promise. I swear on my life. I ain't. Do you know what? Invite a load of people. As long as they be quiet and let us ask the questions. I don't want him to feel intimidated. I'm not here to stitch him up. Nope. I want the truth.
Unedited.
We want the truth. Unedited. Yeah. He can even go live if he wants to prove I don't stitch him up. Come and answer the questions that the fans want to know. I'm not going to put him under any pressure. I'm not here to stitch him up. I'm not here to fucking make him look stupid, because making him look stupid makes the club look stupid. And I never want to do that. I never want to make our club. I want the truth. I want the truth, and I want you to answer the questions that we want to know. Don't sit there with your editor say, ask me this and ask me that. Come and sit there, watch the video that I made. Let me put a little screen next to him, yeah? Put a little screen next to him and fucking play that video to him and say, explain yourself. Explain yourself.
Exactly.
Shot a beer. Yeah, well, you're talking too much.
But that is it.
Explain yourself. Why can't he explain himself? Exactly. Why does he refuse these things? By keep on refusing it, yeah, he makes himself look guilty. And he knows he's guilty, and everybody knows he's guilty. They are, listen, I hope he comes up here, because I heard he's coming up here in a minute. There's a March the 10th, yeah, and for change at this football club. Yeah, for change at this football club. And when he comes up, he can explain it, if he comes at all, because we're running out of time. But
we had the meeting earlier.
March the 10th, we had a meeting. I'm not going to go too much into it, but they're proposing a route. I'll let them do it, because it's not our place to do it. I'll let them do everything. But March the 10th, get on that Real West Ham fan action group, because I'm telling you now,
if you want change,
by refusing to sit down with us and doing his little Christmas dinner speech in his own house, I'll come around his house. I want him to look at me in the eye, watch that video, and explain himself. Yeah. And I'll ask him all the questions. And I'm not going to, as I said, I'm not going to edit it. I won't stitch him up. No. I won't make him look stupid. If he turns around and goes, no, I didn't mean to say that, I'll say, that's fine. Go again then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to take quotes from it and let the papers do it. And then if any papers ever took quotes from it, I'd bring the papers up personally and tell them to take it down.
This is the one thing that we need to realise is, like, when people are saying sack the board and that, the board are not going nowhere. They're not going to go nowhere. So they've got to work with us. They've got to work with all the fan groups. I mean, there's 79 groups that are involved. The problem is, do you know why it's come to this point, the march? Because they don't listen.
That is it.
They give them an ultimate, look, come sit down and talk to us. They didn't want to know.
I'll tell you what they've done. They done these bloggers meetings that we went to. They thought, we'll keep the peace. We'll make it look like we're interested.
Lip service.
Yeah, and then they fobbed us off. But now there's a group, a big massive group, and they've seen it on social media. The thing is, gaining pace.
Sorry, mate. With the bloggers meetings, some stuff did get done.
Yeah.
Little bits and pieces got done, but the main bits.
I'd rather my club signing players than worrying about beers being poured at half time.
Yeah, that's right.
You know,
100%.
I know there are little things that we said in their meetings, but it's more to do. I mean, look at the match day programme today. they've been banging on about having our crest, and then the day of the meeting on the boat with the West Ham fan action group and that, it
magically appears on the programme, doesn't it?
Yeah, it magically appears on the programme, and we've got one
yeah.
here.
Chuck it.
There you go. No, but that's what I mean. It's little things like that, you know. We're proud of our history, and that's all we want. You know,
it needs to be changed. It needs to deliver what was promised. I personally, I think it's gone too far for some people now. I don't think they'll earn it back fully. They can go a long way to do it, but you know.
I think you're right there, mate. I think it won't. They won't ever be. Because I've always said this. It don't matter if they pumped 100 million to this team next year and we went on to win the FA Cup, or we done a Leicester and won the Premier League, and they left. They'll always be remembered as the owners that took us from the bowling. They'll always be remembered for that, no matter what they do. But they've got to start building bridges, and I don't mean bridges to walk from the Stratford to the stadium. I mean building bridges with us fans to, you know, make us feel like West Ham.
But the problem is, made the move a legacy for them.
We moved too soon.
Yeah.
We moved too soon. We
But
should have stayed at
It
that.
could have been a positive legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, like you said, it's going to be a negative.
What they wanted to do, and I said this to someone on the boat earlier, what they wanted to do, as soon as they got the rights to this, they wanted to move us straight in. I said it was like moving your family into a new house with no roof, no electricity, nothing. You've got to live there, but you just got to start building it from scratch. You can't live in a house like that. You have to take time to build it and then move in.
Yep.
You know, that's what we should have done. We should have had 2 more seasons at the bowling, got this place ready.
Yep.
You know, we turn up on that first game and there's scaffolding everywhere, there's fucking builder sandwiches and tea market, and
some people didn't have a seat.
Some people didn't have a seat. They were sitting on concrete blocks. You know what I mean? You can't do that. All they cared about was that, and they wanted to just get in there. Why they're sitting in their posh seats, you know, luxury seats.
I bet they had seats.
Yeah, but they didn't care about the blokes and the families sitting at the back on concrete bollards.
Yeah, that's right.
They didn't care about that.
Got their money.
Got all their money, but
And at the end of the day, that's all they was worried about.
listen, us fans, like we said earlier, if you're balled in or balled out, whatever, when it comes to 3 o'clock on a Saturday, we all come here to support the team.
And that's what we did.
And that's what we did today. So, yeah.
I can't say much more than that.
That is it.
It's heartbreaking.
It is, but
I am heartbroken. Honestly, I am heartbroken when I see what's
the
happening.
march is going to happen. It's gone too far now to not do it.
And
it has to happen.
Trust me when I say this, they are shitting themselves.
Yeah, of course they are. We heard things today that they're crapping themselves. You know, and you've got you've got 79 West Ham groups. 79, I think it's 79, coming together, and I mean you've got the big ones as well. You've got like us, Knees Up Mother Brown, Crossed Hammers, Hammers Chat, all the big ones.
All these Facebook pages and all that, they're all coming together.
They're all coming together.
As well as a lot of the foreign Hammers groups.
You've got Tenerife Hammers coming over, you've got the Maltese Hammers coming over, you've got the Italian Hammers coming over. You know, listen, it's going to be a massive gathering on March the 10th. Like, listen, it's my birthday that day, so I don't know whether they're coming for my birthday or the March, but
big party.
Listen, it needs to happen. It needs to happen. There's going to be media there, and like what Andy and Mickey said earlier, you'll probably see on their video that they're going to put out. It's not going to be. It's not about violence. It's a protest for West Ham fans.
West Ham fans coming together, voicing their opinion on how badly our club is being run.
Yep.
I've been accused this week of not listening to balled-in fans and all this and setting one up apparently, but no, I've been accused of that this week. I want people to tell me why they're so happy, you know. And do you know what? I've always said this, and I've always said this to you. I don't know whether I've ever said it on camera, but I've always said this to you. I want what they want, what they've got. I want to be happy again with the way the club's run. You know, I am over the moon that some people have that opinion that they're happy with the way the club's run, because I want to feel like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And the thing is as well, I think like people that are balled out and balled in, I think the people that are balled in, I think people that are balled out need to respect their views, because you know we've got our opinions, they've got their opinions. You know, there don't need to be things on social media where you're telling people they're not West Ham because they don't want the same as you balled out. That's not right. It's not right. And you know, people have probably seen it on Twitter this week. We had an incident with David sexualising Colton Cole. You know, he's got his opinions and he's right to them. You know, like you have, I have, everyone in this
We've
room
all got
has.
different opinions
but
on everything.
all we care about is we want the best for West Ham.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm happy for Dave. I'm happy for Dave that he's happy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want
But
to
he's
be
not
happy.
He's not happy.
Well, he's
because-
not now, no.
No, but I've been in meetings with him and we sat across the table and he said things about the ball.
Yeah, I know, yeah,
So,
I was
and this
there.
is what I'm saying. People don't see that part. And it's not only Dave, it's other people that are for the ball. They can see things, but...
Look, I would say this about Dave, right? Now, you know, I had a bit of an issue with Dave earlier on in the week, but Dave, what you see on a radio show, is half an hour out of a 200-hour week, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's 200 hours.
Yeah.
175-hour week.
Yeah.
You listen to him for an hour out of 175 hours. Obviously, he tweets, obviously, and all this. And when people call you a cunt, it is easy to, like, to jump on that and to defend yourself. You know what I mean? And he does that probably a bit more than he should. But
I think he was right to defend himself last week.
yeah, I think he was. Yeah, I think he was.
Like you said, at the end of the day, he wants the same things we do.
Yeah.
He wants
He wants to come to
performances.
succeed.
Yeah, exactly. He
We all-
wants to
we all-
win.
we
He
all
wants
wanna-
West Ham to do well.
We all want to get off at Stratford Station. We all want to skip down Olympic Way and go and watch our football team and all be happy and then go home and be happy. But listen, that don't happen at a football club. You're going to have bad times. You're going to have good times. It's not a great time at the moment. But like I said earlier, we need to be united. We need to put United back into West Ham.
Exactly.
You know what I mean, with fans.
And before we go, I must clear this up. You know, people do have arguments. I have arguments with my mum. I still love my mum, and like I say this to Dave, I do apologise for what happened last week, and it was wrong because his point.
Yep.
And I do apologise to the boys over there. I thought it was a little bit unfair. Should have just come to see us a bit earlier on. That's all I would say.
I spoke to Dave,
but it's done. It's
and
done.
he's-
You know what
yeah,
I
it's
mean?
all
It's
sorted.
good. The thing is about Dave, he's a good friend of mine. He's been a good friend of mine for a long time, and I totally understand where he come from. And you know, I have the ability to laugh things off sometimes, and you know, see personally, I wouldn't have took that seriously, but I can understand what he did.
Yeah.
And you know, I do apologise to the boys over there.
We'll all have a beer together at the end of
Of
the
course we
season.
will. Of
That's
course
it.
we will. If I see him,
Exactly.
if he walked in here now, we'd sit here and
See, at the
you know,
end of the day,
with me
just
and Dave. Look, what you got to remember about me and Dave. Me and Dave been sitting together for a few years now. I remember going to a fucking event when we went to the FBAs when we didn't win fuck all.
Yeah.
We drank all them loads of beers. You remember that?
Yeah.
We won one of the most beer drinking competitions.
Well, of course, yeah.
Then we upset the other West Ham account.
I remember standing outside with Dave and having a discussion. What do you think about the new ground? What do you think about the ball? I said, I hate the new ground. He goes, I hate the new ground, but I think the ball are doing really well. We've had these difference of opinions.
Exactly. Nothing wrong with it. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and we shouldn't get on each other's cases because their opinions are different.
Anyway,
right.
we won 2-0. We're up to 12.
That's it.
Up to 12. Ain't we dropped a place then?
No?
Aren't we 11th?
No.
How can we win and be 12?
Yeah, it's still the same. We're
No,
just
we're
further
12.
away from the bottom. That's
All
the
right,
main
well,
thing.
that's all right, yeah. And 3 points is 3 points, mate.
We're on
Let's
the
have
break
it.
next week because we're at the FA Cup.
Never mind. Thank you very much for joining us on this week's... Well, he's not here, is he?
No,
I
he's not
can't.
Yeah,
you know.
We'll do a separate one with him.
Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of West Ham Fan TV's post-match Pint. So, thank you so much to the Podium for hosting us. We'll be here regularly, home games, mate.
Yeah, make sure
Look
you
at
come
this.
down.
I mean, look at this. You want a view, mate? You know, I rolled here. I done fan cams, I rolled over and I'm here.
I sorted this out.
Yeah, he's all right.
Well, mate. Well,
Thank you so much to the Podium. Make sure you visit this place on a match day. It's brilliant. It's warm as well.
yeah, very warm.
Me and Dan
very
were straight
spacious,
over here, like, in the warm.
Yeah.
But no, look,
Left us in the cold, you know.
we're going to be speaking to the bar anyway, be trying to do something.
Even though there's no match this week, there's loads of content coming up. We've got a new series starting this week, and I'm really excited about that.
Graham is going to put out
And you're
on the
finding
social this
Sacco
week
one,
as
is
well.
it?
No, finding Sacco now. He's gone now.
Yeah.
I know where he
Just
is.
go to fries and go,
Maybe he is. No, we've got a new series start this week, Legends of the Bowling, which I'm really excited about. And Graham does that. Done a good job as well.
heard.
So
I've been kicked out of doing interviews now.
you wasn't there.
Oh, sorry, mate.
You're not kicked out doing interviews, mate. I just think Graham's doing the.
He does the older players.
Yeah. You've got the 90s upwards. I think Graham's got the 90s.
I've got a connection with the newer one. Graham talks to like bloody all the old players.
Well, I don't think there's some of the old players. If the old players coming on, I don't think they'd be too pleased if Graham's interviewing them then. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. Check out all the fan cams that are just going up on our channel now. Check out on the social this week. There will be musings this week because we had such a busy week last week and we was like rushed off our feet doing everything. We didn't get a chance to film an awful lot and we haven't seen each other, to be quite honest. We've been so busy in our personal lives that we haven't been together. But we will be back this week with a load of content. Ryan will be back. He's got maybe.
I'll find something to do.
Yeah.
Ryan's moaning.
So all the content going up this week. Don't forget to go and follow us on Twitter at West Ham Fan TV, Facebook.com/West Ham Fan TV, Twitter, Instagram, what else is there? Snapchat, all the stuff that we never use. We do use Twitter, trust me. And one thing left to say, boys.
Come on, you
irons.